In the 90s, Snoop Dogg rose to become one of the most important figures in hip-hop, but there was always trouble lurking beneath the surface. From being tried for murder to having his life threatened, fame came at a tremendous cost for the rap icon. While growing up in Long Beach, California, Snoop Dogg shouldered a great deal of financial responsibility. His family's financial situation was far from ideal, so he helped pay the bills by working as a grocery bagger and getting a paper route. He also tried selling candy, but soon discovered that he could make more money peddling different products. He told Vibe in 1993, "I started selling every kind of narcotic you could think of. I was like, it, a regular job ain't paying this much." The rapper was close with his mom, Beverly Tate, who deserves credit for Snoop's stage name. She thought he resembled Charlie Brown's pet canine, Snoopy. Snoop was a choir member who happily went to church with his mother, but when he started running with a crowd that included members of the notorious Crips gang, it put a strain on his relationship with his mother.
I understand now that she was trying to prevent me from the things that I went through, and that's tough love.
On The Howard Stern Show, Snoop said that Tate grew so upset over the company he was keeping that she kicked him out of the house when he was 17. He traded crack for a place to stay for a while, but ultimately ended up living in his car. The rapper recalled, "Then one night, probably 6 months after my mama kicked me out, my car was parked on the wrong side of the street with all my clothes and all my dope, and it got towed away." During his interview on The Howard Stern Show, Snoop revealed that gang members were the older heroes he looked up to. At age 15 or 16, he graduated from being an adoring tag-along to becoming a bona fide gangster when he was given his first gun. This meant that he now had to worry about finding himself on the wrong end of one of the weapons. So when he was inevitably fired upon, he opted against firing back. Snoop told Stern, "I was too scared to shoot back because I was so concerned with my life." With all the violence he saw growing up, the future rap star was lucky to make it out unscathed. He told the Los Angeles Times, "A dozen people I know have been smoked for no reason at all. I wish the violence would stop." Snoop Dogg's drug dealing earned him 3 trips to jail after he graduated from high school. One important thing he learned during his time behind bars was that other prisoners appreciated his rapping ability. That said, he got dangerously close to only performing for inmates when he was charged with being an accomplice to murder in 1993. While preparing for his trial, Snoop was working on his debut album, Doggy Style. He was ultimately acquitted of the charges in 1996. Snoop, who had penned a song titled "Murder Was the Case," decided to stop venerating violence in his music after his trial. He told Fat Man Scoop during a 2021 Instagram Live interview, "I was like, somebody's life was lost. My life was changed. This is a real situation." Snoop also credits the birth of his first child, son Corday Brodus, in 1994 for his decision to start writing songs that celebrate life. According to Snoop Dogg, he and Tupac Shakur became friends before they became label mates. On All the Smoke, Snoop revealed that he even convinced Death Row Records founder Suge Knight to sign Tupac to the label. In September 1996, Tupac was shot and killed in Las Vegas. The loss was especially hard for Snoop because he and Tupac had a falling out not long before the California Love rapper's death. On Untold Stories of Hip Hop, Snoop revealed that Tupac felt betrayed by him after he said he admired Diddy and Biggie Smalls in an interview. Tupac's unshakable allegiance to the West Coast wouldn't allow him to see the East Coast rappers as anything but rivals. Snoop's last interaction with his friend came during a harrowing flight. Tupac and Knight refused to speak to him and were both so angry that Snoop feared for his life. The next time Snoop saw Tupac, he was in a hospital bed clinging to life. Snoop recalled on the Impulsive podcast in 2022.
He got tubes in him, and it's like, when I walked in, I could just feel like he wasn't even there, and I fainted.
According to Snoop, the reason he wasn't in Las Vegas with Tupac when he got shot was because of their disagreement. Death Row Records is where Snoop Dogg got his start, but by 1998, it was no longer the hip-hop powerhouse it had been during its heyday. Suge Knight was in prison for a probation violation, and another of the label's most influential co-founders, Dr. Dre, had decided to start afresh by launching a new record company. Death Row had also lost one of its biggest stars when Tupac Shakur was murdered. Snoop listed all of these developments when explaining his own decision to ditch the label. He told the Long Beach Press-Telegram at the time, "There's nothing over there. It's telling me that I'm either going to be dead or in jail, or I'm going to be nothing." But after making his exit, Snoop still felt like he had to fear for his life. According to a report by the Washington Post, Snoop told the LAPD that he believed himself to be in grave danger because his departure had angered Knight. Snoop further incurred Knight's wrath by signing with Master P's label No Limit Records. He recalled to Rolling Stone in 2006 that Knight threatened his life while he was behind bars, offering rewards to those who were willing to kill him or cause him harm. Snoop Dogg has had a few traumatic experiences with family members. When he was around 8 years old, one of his uncles was the target of a drive-by shooting while staying at Snoop's house. No one was injured, but the experience kept young Snoop up at night as he worried about whether the gunman would return. Snoop tried to prevent his family from suffering another tragedy in 2002 when his brother-in-law, Jermaine Fuller, was involved in a standoff with Las Vegas police. Fuller, the brother of Snoop's wife, Shantae, shot and injured one officer, fired upon another, and barricaded himself inside an apartment, where he held 2 residents hostage. The standoff lasted 11 hours. During it, Fuller reportedly asked to speak to Snoop, who recorded a message pleading with him to surrender. As reported by the Las Vegas Sun, Snoop said in the recording, "Do what they say. We've got lawyers to take care of this. We'll take care of it." While the hostages escaped unharmed, Fuller was found dead inside the apartment. It was later determined that his cause of death was suicide. Snoop decided to divorce Shantae Brodus after 7 years of marriage in 2004. However, the couple's divorce was never finalized. In a 2010 interview with People, Snoop and Shantae revealed that their daughter Corey's lupus diagnosis is what made them decide that their marriage was worth saving. The worried parents realized that being a supportive family unit wouldn't just be beneficial for Corey, they'd also have each other to lean on. Snoop told the outlet, "Corey's lupus showed us we need to be together forever." Lupus is the same inflammatory autoimmune disease that Selena Gomez has. It can cause a wide range of painful and distressing symptoms, such as arthritis. Corey was just 6 years old when she was diagnosed with the chronic illness and told People that she was taking up to a dozen pills daily by age 24. However, she said that she was able to wean herself off of the medication by making lifestyle changes such as working out. Snoop came to realize that divorcing Shantae would have been a big mistake, and not just because Corey needed her parents to be strong for her. He told GQ in 2021, "That's the love of my life. That's who I want to be with. She ain't never did no wrong. Everything wrong with this relationship has always been me."
Today I'm gonna have to say that she's always right.
Corey Brodus has discussed her struggles with lupus and mental health at length, explaining how the two were linked in a 2021 Instagram video. She said, "I got lupus at 6, so I was overweight from being on steroids, and that just automatically just messed with my health. I've always been sad, I've always been depressed because I feel like I've just been through a lot." Being sick made her feel like an outsider in her own family, and she began struggling with suicidal ideation at age 13, when she also became the target of cruel bullies who criticized her physical appearance. She recalled, "I was ready to die, just so sad, crying to my mom like, 'Mom, I'm so ugly, why did you have me?'" According to Brodus, she feels extremely overwhelmed when forced to deal with a stressful situation, which is what happened when her boyfriend crashed her car. It sent her on a downward spiral and she attempted suicide at a hotel. Brodus credited an involuntary psychiatric hospitalization with changing her perspective. She said, "As I was in there, I started appreciating everything." This included what an amazing support system her family is. In a February 2023 Teen Vogue interview, Brodus shared an example of how Snoop Dogg was there for her when she needed him. She recalled, "I was at the hospital about to get my kidney biopsy. He was like, 'You are so damn strong.' He couldn't even imagine going through what I am. I think they're proud of me." Snoop Dogg has found himself grieving many of his friends and colleagues over the years. One rapper he said goodbye to in 2011 was even family. Nathaniel Hale, also known as Nate Dogg, was Snoop's cousin. The Regulate rapper was just 41 when he died from complications caused by multiple strokes. During his 2022 Impulsive interview, Snoop said that Nate's death and that of Nipsey Hussle are the 2 hip-hop industry losses that have hurt him the most.
It just felt like they had so much to do.
Snoop and Nipsey were close friends as well as collaborators, and Snoop even spoke at his 2019 memorial service after he was shot and killed at age 33. Snoop said at the service, "One thing that me and Nip had was a kind spirit." Snoop also had to say a sad farewell to Earl Simmons, also known as DMX, in 2021 when he died from a heart attack at age 50. On The Tonight Show, Snoop fondly reminisced about his longtime friend, saying,
He's off to a better place and he's finally got his angel wings.
During his gangsta rap days, Snoop Dogg was viewed as being tough but chill. As he evolved as an artist and as a man, the chill remained, but his tough exterior thawed out. He's now known for being playful and fun. But there's a side of the rapper that his fans rarely see. He told Hip Hollywood in 2018, "I cry, I'm sad a lot, I have problems and issues, I'm human." During a 2022 appearance on the Nappy Boy Radio podcast, Snoop revealed that one problem he's sought counseling for is his struggle to control his anger. He's also shared that he's had to cut a lot of toxic people out of his life for the sake of his mental health. Snoop has become an outspoken therapy advocate who is doing his part to remove the stigma around seeking mental health services. He said on the Pivot podcast in September 2023,
There's certain things that you need to have another voice help you understand. And there's no such thing as being weak for asking for help.
According to Snoop, marriage counseling also helped him and his wife during a rough patch. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, please contact the crisis text line by texting HOME to 741-741. Call the National Alliance on Mental Illness helpline at 1-800-950-NAMI 6264 or visit the National Institute of Mental Health website.